Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the RK Football Podcast. And of course, you have the three amigos again. It's me, Matt, Stuart, and David again.
Hello, hello.
Right. Well, I don't think there's a better place to start than the most prestigious tournament in English football in the FA Cup. We obviously had our fourth round of fixtures this weekend, and there has been some good results, some expected results. The likes of Salford unfortunately went out to Manchester United in a 2-0 win for them. And
Man City, you mean?
did I say?
Yeah,
You said Man United.
Right.
I mean, you would. I'm assuming you want Man United back in. I mean, if it's a way of saying it back into existence.
Don't edit that out. Leave it in. Mistakes is what makes you human. Just leave it in.
It's what makes our podcast so unique because we make mistakes and we own it up. So.
Right. But make sure we no joking. But yeah. So in the time today, we've also had the fifth round FA Cup draw that has been made as well, and those games are as follows. You got Fulham at home to Southampton, Port Vale or Bristol City at home to Sunderland, Newcastle host Manchester City, Leeds United host Norwich, Mansfield are hosting the Premier League leaders Arsenal. I think that's a very good tie. Wolverhampton Wanderers hosting Liverpool. And you got Wrexham against Chelsea. I am not looking forward to that. And finally, West Ham hosting either Macclesfield or Brentford.
They play tonight, I think. Yeah.
Come on, Macclesfield.
Yeah, I really hope Macclesfield to do one. That would be absolutely phenomenal.
Especially with home time for West Ham. Like, was it? You could sit there and say how they've been. You know, Macclesfield would be like, we could do them.
Yeah. No, I agree. What was the standout fixture out of all of that for you guys? For me, it's got to be either Wrexham, Chelsea, or what was it?
I think Wrexham Chelsea is the big one. I think Wrexham Chelsea because I think it's the tie that has. As opposed to Mansfield Arsenal, I think Mansfield Arsenal will be excited for Mansfield, particularly because it's at their home ground. I don't know what their home ground is called, but I think we all know even Arsenal's second side is going to absolutely do them. Wrexham Chelsea. Chelsea are obviously, one of the top sides in the league. I still think Wrexham are doing really well in the Championship at the moment. So,
Yeah, I think they're in the play. I think they've finally got in the playoffs the last time I checked. I mean, they started off really poorly, and then all of a sudden they've done what Wrexham does. They always seem to want to get promoted every season, apparently. But I agree with that. Like, that's got to be the tie. If you put like a bet, if you put like a surefire that if there was going to be an upset. I would say that tie because I think it's like with Chelsea. You don't know what to expect, do you? Because one day.
I think a lot of people will have the same opinion, though, to the point where I don't think you could consider it an upset anymore. I think a lot of people might think
it still would be an upset. Sorry,
well, a Championship side beating a Premier League side, it is an upset, but it's not as big an upset as perhaps like earlier some other results we've had.
I would say I wouldn't be say as similar as we forget about last season with Liverpool's FA Cup exit. Let's not talk about that. But
you mentioned it. You mentioned it.
Well. I want to get it out of the way before anyone, own it. But yeah, I would definitely I think it would be a shock because obviously even with Wrexham in the home advantage, Chelsea with the quality you have should win that. It'll be tough, but you should win that. But
I think for me, I get what you're saying there, David. It's a Championship side against a Premier League side, so it's not
one of the top Championship sides as well. I mean,
could be playing.
But if you put it in this context. 4 seasons ago, they were in the National League.
Oh yeah, if you consider it like that, if you kind of zoom out a little bit, then you think that is quite a.
It could be a record. Or was it 5? Was it 5? If they get promoted from the Championship this season, that's 5 in a row.
It's unbelievable.
I don't think any team's ever done that.
No, surely not. Surely not.
Done 4 from the National League to the Championship. So
I know Southend United years ago. That's one of my local teams. We went from League 2 up to the Championship, and we missed out on the playoffs to go into the Premier League, which would have been 3. So that was not even matching what they've done. So yeah, that would be phenomenal. But all this hype around Chelsea did look good in their game, and I was very pleased. We got the result, very happy. But all this hype about Neto, he was brilliant. It's whole City. can we just calm down a little bit, like
Well,
it's whole city?
Well, it was similar to the Charlton game, wasn't it? First game in charge, and everyone was like, "Oh, they're really good." It's like, but no offense, but you are playing Charlton, like,
yes,
and
exactly. Yeah.
So, like, I mean, it's a good result, as you said. It's 100% right. Like, yeah, was it you? Like any Chelsea, you want to win trophies. So, if any chance you still in a competition to do that, it's obviously always a good thing.
Yeah, of course.
So, but yeah, I mean, but yeah, I think we all do. I mean, I've been guilty of it multiple times this season, where you have one or two good performances, even if it's against, and you're like, "Oh my God, we're back," and then you come crashing down to earth very hard the next game. But yeah, I mean, again, you can only be, the old saying goes, you can only be what's in front of you, and you're in the draw. So
I think a team that could go quite far in it, I've just got this feeling about them, is Leeds. I've just got this feeling about Leeds because they've got Norwich City in the next game, and then am I right in thinking it'd be the 6th round of the FA Cup, and then it's the quarterfinals, isn't it?
I'm sure it's the quarterfinals after, right? I'm sure, like 5th round and then the quarterfinals. So might be wrong, but
the only thing you could say,
quarterfinals,
it's quarterfinals.
But in regards to Leeds, I do agree that they could go far, but I think that might be determined by how soon they can kind of get to a safe enough position in the Premier League whereby they can start to kind of not worry so much about it really, and they can start resting players for Premier League games and then play their stronger sides in the FA Cup games. You know, I think they're still 6 points off relegation, so it's they're still they are in the fight, as it were.
You could have a Wigan situation.
I don't think Leeds will get relegated, but they still have to be a little bit careful. But again, I think if they could keep accumulating points in the league and keep getting those wins in the FA Cup, they could go far. Yeah.
But it's that question, isn't it? With the sorry, like it's that question you always ask. Like, would you stay in the Premier League or win a trophy? Like, obviously you would want both, but if you want
depends what you. I no, that's quite right, but I think it depends on who you ask. If you're asking the fans, they want a trophy. If you're asking the owner, they want the money. In other words, they want to stay in the league. Silverware, obviously, but it all football nowadays it always comes back down to money, doesn't it?
It's like
staying in the league is the main prerogative for these teams. Obviously, if you go in silverware, great, but the owners are not thinking in that particularly kind of major shareholders, stockholder, whatever. They're thinking purely in terms of money and financials. And in that, so by that respect, staying in the league is the more important objective.
Do you not think that, I think if you asked a fan, say that's 15, for example, and
15
you
years
said,
old, right? Yeah,
15 years old, and you look back at that Wigan FA Cup glory, you sit there and think, oh, what a shock that was, but then you don't necessarily look at the league. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't go, oh, where were they? Or anything like that. You just think Wigan Athletic, who are they, sort of thing.
It's still talked about now, because especially with the way they won it as well, like the way that it was basically one was it Ben
Watson.
See, that's the thing. I think Wigan fans. I think Wigan fans would look back in that season predominantly with happy thoughts, from want of a better, we'll look back in that season positively because they won the FA Cup and not because they got relegated. But the fact they won a trophy. But again, it depends on the perspective. So again, fans would look at that and say we won a trophy, but people who are worried about money in clubs would go, well, we got relegated,
And especially where Wigan are now, like that's basically it never got any better for them for a long time. Like
they just went through the free fall a bit, didn't they?
Yeah. So. I mean, nothing against my beloved hometown Crawley, but we played them last season in League One, so. And they didn't beat us, so that should be a sign that maybe a team like Wigan. But I mean, but I don't know. Maybe it's because it's like I think it's more like maybe we're still the romantics when it comes to football, but it's like it's a trophy, like the team of the underdog.
Absolutely.
Winning I think a better argument then is this, because Leeds are in a better position. They have 6 points clear of relegation at the minute, so they're in a better position to give the FA Cup a go, you'd argue.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
West Ham, however, are right in the relegation zone. They are currently, let me just double check so I don't get this wrong, because obviously I get Man City and Man United confused, and that's always good. So they're 3 points off of safety. So the argument there is survival or win the FA Cup.
It's survival 100%.
It's survival.
It's 100% survival. I mean, and West Ham aren't even one of those clubs who like they've gone 80 years without a trophy kind of thing. So it's not as if like they won the Conference League a few years ago under Moyes. So it's not as if they're desperate for silverware.
They were European champions. They were the best team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Conference League. So it's not as if they're one of those clubs like Newcastle or Palace who just like it's been a million years since they've won anything. So I think, well, come on, this is the year, lads. Let's
Yeah, but West Ham have got a good history with the FA Cup though, because obviously a lot of their crowning like in moments as well. I think the 80s they won it like quite, and I think that's
they won the FA Cup. Yeah,
talked about fondly. I think in the West Ham circles could have got once you got West
Ham survival
fans.
is the main thing.
Oh yeah, 100%. But you know what I mean. But it's like anything. It's like survival, but it's that argument, isn't it? Because obviously the thing about would you put out a weaker side in the FA Cup just so you can rest for the league game, or would you?
I think it's all dependent on this game tonight for West Ham. If Macclesfield win, I wouldn't be surprised if West Ham put a weaker side out. If it's Brentford, then let's see what happens there. I wouldn't be.
This is where the upsets come in, though. This is how the upsets occur. Is that the bigger teams? I mean, the bigger teams, they're in the relegation zone, but the Premier League teams typically will rest players against the weaker sides in down the divisions because they think we're going to be okay. We should be able to squeeze through, and then the lower sides are chippier and kind of turn up on the day and kind of squeeze out a win, which is typically how the upsets occur.
Well, and also it means more to lower league teams, like teams are lower down the pyramid, because I mean, I remember Crawley's run when they had to play Old Trafford, when he went to Old Trafford to play Man United. Again, I was there by the way. Like that was huge for Crawley. Like probably the entire town probably went to that, but that was absolutely mental because it's like we're like oh my god, we're in like the conference and we're going to Old Trafford, the Premier League, big Premier League champion at the time.
Stuart is a dinosaur here, but this is within my lifetime. This happened. This did not happen during the Blitz. So just to clarify here,
you're funny.
This was within
you're funny.
Most people's lifetime here. Okay,
that's just it though. Is that the FA Cup is, I think, for fans of bigger clubs, is losing its. I mean, certainly from my point of view, I'm not as invested in the FA Cup as maybe I was perhaps 5 or 10 years ago. Even it's just not one of those things that I feel like. It doesn't have as much significance. It's not the money, because it's not my money at the end of the day. It's not money I'm going to be seeing in my own pocket, But it's just not. It is a big trophy, and I mean, I don't want to be one of those fans that just neglects it. And if we get to the semi-final, we're in the semi-final, well, you didn't give a toss before that. You can't just start doing it. But like the League Cup as well. It's just, but like I think you're quite right, Stu. It is. The teams in the lower divisions that it means so much more for, particularly when you get those big major upsets at home grounds.
It's why last season with Palace it was so great to see.
Exactly. Yeah.
You saw if it was City, it's just another trophy for them.
They'd be just like, well, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, like cool. But like, and obviously, but then with them, it would have made a season that was really bad less bad. But like with Palace, you saw it like. It was amazing. Like they basically won it. They deserved to win it, and then obviously how much it meant to them. Like that's what it just makes you like. You look at that and you're like, wow. It's like when West Ham won the European. We talked about the Conference League. We all scoff at it, but that was the first trophy they've won in like European. It was 60. It's 60s.
Remember those ones. People remember those. Like everyone remembers Portsmouth 2008. People remember that because it was like, such a strange one to win.
It was like maybe not the FA Cup, but like the League Cup. It's like what's weird about I think it's also because it's kind of the same suspects every time when it comes to who goes and win it. It's usually like you don't see any except for Palace. It's like. When was the last time anyone, except for obviously Wigan, maybe?
That's why last season was so refreshing.
Yeah, Newcastle it was just
winning,
nice
Palace winning, Spurs winning the European Cup.
I mean, the League Cup used to be that tournament. Like, I mean, obviously not the FA Cup, but like the League Cup used to be that one where like even like was it Blackburn were winning it, Middlesbrough were winning it, Swansea were winning it. Like it was just back in the day that used to be the trophy where like teams that normally don't win trophies win it. But now that's being kind of overdone by the people in top, the top of the people higher up in the league.
Leicester have even won it within the last 5 years, if I'm right in thinking.
Yeah,
they won it with Brendan Rodgers, didn't they? I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yes,
Tielemans against us.
I mean,
again, that's what again, just to circle back, that's not to say that I've not been delighted when United have won the FA Cup and winning it with Ten Hag and Louis van Gaal maybe 8 or 9 years ago now. Were great moments and great days and great to see United win, big major trophies. But I think part of it as well is fixture fatigue, is how I refer to it as. It's just. we're sort of getting bombarded with fixtures now, and it's not only a lot of players, including players like Virgil van Dijk, have come out in recent years and said that the players are playing far too much. There's far too many fixtures on the rotation in a season. That players playing 60, 70, 80, 90 games a season. Ridiculous amounts. And with the FA Cup have only recently gotten rid of replays for certain rounds. You've got the League Cup, FA Cup. Champions League, and then you've got your league, and it's kind of like the squads with the bigger depth. The squads with bigger depth tend to go on and win the league, win the major trophies. And that's kind of what it depends upon. I think it's a little bit of a fixture over congestion for
I know this is rich. I know this is rich coming from a football podcast, but there's too much football. It sounds weird to say.
I completely agree.
Do you think that's ruined the quality now?
Not the quality. I think it's ruined the excitement for the actual games. Personally speaking, the quality as well, because players are tired. Like sometimes playing 3 games within the space of 7 days, 8 days. And people say, but players they're flying first class. They're this or that. They shouldn't have to complain. But they're human beings at the end of the day, and I mean that's not exactly.
We're talking about people that go full intensely for 90 minutes. Then that's basically an hour, and they've got to do that once a week, you can say, but twice or 3 times. Eventually, you need time to. I think forget because of the money. They think footballers are just like, well, they
just take it and shut up. Just take it and shut up. You're not allowed. You have no right to complain. It's like I don't know. Yeah.
No, I mean I don't. Exactly. Well, I don't want to like a player collapsing of exhaustion because basically they've been playing so much football they're never under rest. Like that. It's one of those things that it will into that. It's really horrible, but that's how sometimes it works. Until that happens, or something like that, where the player just basically exhausted because he's played too many football games, I don't think anything's going to change. Because obviously, I just don't think if there's more demands, they're just going to keep pumping out the fixtures. I would say, but I think that's why the FA Cup.
Sorry, Stu, go on.
Yeah, and also I think that's why, and also I think with the FA Cup is different because obviously back in the day it was the reason people loved the FA Cup because it was the only only competition on the telly. So if you won that, you get exposure. But now it's like
that's true.
It's not. So I can see why people say, well, it's gone down in value. Yeah, because it's just another cup competition now. And as you said rightly, it's another one of those things for clubs that are probably going for like the big trophies are going. Like for a long time, Klopp didn't really put out a really strong side for it because obviously he's going for the Premier Leagues and the Champions Leagues, right? So I guess that's why. But I think that's why it doesn't feel the magic because obviously it's not the only competition anymore. There's so many.
I'm kind of delighted that United aren't in anything. It's just purely Premier League from now to the end. I'm kind of delighted with that, to be honest. And it's always used as a trope. When a bigger team exits, or a team, maybe fighting relegation exits a competition, pundits always say, well, at least now they can concentrate on the league. There's always that kind of positive spin put on it. It's never like, oh God, it's a travesty that they've left the cup. There's always that kind of caveat of, well, it doesn't matter now because now you can focus on the league.
And also they criticize them for not like taking it seriously, like is sometimes when you say, well, I think you've seen like some some they always have the pundits come out and sit there and say, well, what was it if like someone like Leeds had a chance to go on the cup, would you take it? Oh yeah, they should go for it, but then if they choose not to get relegated and not for the cup, they get criticised for that, so they can't really win, really.
But you think of the teams who were in the relegation zone who played the FA Cup this weekend. So West Ham made 10 changes and Burnley made 9 changes. I mean, these are teams that are in the relegation zone right now. You'd think that they would kind of have a bit of a go in the cup competitions, but they're still making these wholesale changes to teams. I mean, it's insane. It just shows where the priorities are, And
also not motivation, but what's it not what for? Basically, like you just want to keep the momentum going, really. Because, for example, if was it Burnley, obviously with that, was it win against Palace? You would think they would be like, well, even if it's the FA Cup against Mansfield, just keep up the winning feeling. Yeah. You would think that would be, even if it's like costing, because obviously
keep up the momentum. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
momentum,
I mean. And
that's key.
come from a Liverpool fan. Obviously, like we got a good feeling. Was it a midweek, and then we got another good feeling with the Brighton game. It's like yes, the FA Cup, but it's just nice to see your team win, even if it's in a cup competition against a team that, obviously not for Liverpool, but other teams. Like winnings always makes you feel better when you go through stuff like
that. The other thing as well, and this is a bit like it's sad that the FA Cup has now gone down this route in globally and nationally as well, is that when I was younger, the trophy, one of my earliest memories as a Chelsea fan was us winning the FA Cup in 2000.
Ooh.
And it was the last final at the old Wembley. That was my earliest memory as a Chelsea fan, and we obviously won the tournament. Everything, it made me fall in love with football, and obviously then 7 years later we won it again with Drogba scoring the winning goal in the final and all this stuff. So it's sad that in some ways now the memories that people have the equivalent of that would probably be Europe. But even now in the Champions League more than it is the FA Cup.
Well, think about it. I mean, there's more money in football now than there ever was, and where there's more money, there's higher stakes. And the FA Cup just isn't one of the big higher stakes trophies. It's Premier League and Champions League or Europa League. I think the Europa League is above the FA Cup now in terms of important trophies to win. I think it's right. I think it's maybe on a par with it.
I can't disagree with that. I mean, obviously, I think it's because of that Champions League spot you get from winning it. And the money you get for that, I can see why if you look at it from that perspective. But
this is why I think the FA Cup you should be given the Champions League spot, not Europa League. For me, I think.
I mean,
I don't know.
You do. I think you do get a European spot for getting to the final. I don't think it's quite a
you do, but then I think it's Europa League or Conference League. It's one of the two.
I mean,
no, it's Europa League because then that's why Palace fell into the Europa League. The Conference League, wasn't it?
How would that work though? Because sometimes Champions League matches. What if a League One team won the FA Cup? Because sometimes Champions League nights are played in the same fixed. Sometimes League One fixture. I don't know.
So we're down at Roots Hall on Tuesday, but next Tuesday we're down at the Bernabeu.
We've got Crawley, and then we've got Juventus the next.
Could
you imagine?
Fair point.
Yeah.
Was it like that? I can't remember. It's it's probably forgotten, but when obviously Birmingham won the League Cup, and they got I think you was it UEFA Cup back then, but they got to the group stages, but they were playing in the Championship. They actually surprised. They finally did quite well. They were just unlucky to not get through. But the point is, it's just that's crazy. It's I've got to try and get back in the Premier League, but I've just got to win one of the biggest European trophies out there while I'm playing in the Championship. It's crazy, but I like it.
Yeah. The one thing I did want to mention though in regards to the FA Cup, and this is, I'll be honest, it does annoy me. Mark Gahey was part of the Crystal Palace side that got knocked out to Macclesfield the other day in the third round, and then he is then moved to Man City, been allowed to play in the FA Cup fourth round and score the goal. One of the goals has knocked out Salford. I'm sorry, but you had your chance. Yes, you moved. But you had your chance. Go and do one. In my eyes.
Don't they have the same rule in the Champions League where if you play for one club and one you can't? So why don't that's what I was thinking. Because how many times we've had you sign a player and it's he can't play in Champions League because he's played for a club. Why don't we have that rule here?
They had enforced the rule originally, didn't they? And then Pep went off and won. They've got some good lawyers there at City. They really worked that somehow. But
the best money can buy.
Yeah, exactly.
They do. But it's just for me, it just stinks of oh, don't worry, you didn't do well with them. Don't worry, come to us and you can still win the trophy.
Yeah, I agree. I think he should have been.
I get why they play. I mean, how many times do you see in lower leagues teams getting knocked out of competitions because they've played in an illegitimate player, a player they haven't registered or whatever. How many times you get knocked out? But then if a club like City does it, I mean, I get why they played him because basically they've got no defenders, so they're probably just trying to play him. But I get that
you've played in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
I mean, I get why they did it, but then I also understand the argument of, I mean, you don't. If you play for one club in a tournament and then in a competition, but then obviously moving and playing another, it's no, that's not how it works. You played it one time, you're out of it, so you're not eligible unless.
One thing that someone did mention, and I thought this was fair, if the player was on the bench but never come off the bench, would they then be allowed?
No, because then there's always because then they have the opportunity to play if they're on the bench, isn't it? So
it's
so you would say if they're in the squad for one.
Yeah, if they're in the squad, they have the possibility of playing. So I think,
Oh, okay, fair enough then. No, okay. No, I think that's fair shout.
It's just
blanket it. Go like no, none of it, sort of thing. Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah.
Especially, I said it's Champions League all the time. So it's one of these common rules that you would have thought that the FA Cup. Well, we said they probably did, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that if he just didn't score, no one would have ever noticed.
Yeah,
because he scored. Everyone's like, wait a minute.
Hang on a minute. Yeah.
Exactly that, and this is it for me. But I mean, they've gone through, and I mean, it's happened now. So
good for them.
It is what it is, as they would say.
Well, I mean, Newcastle must be devastated because they're like, we've got to face them again in a cup competition. That's 3 times in a city. They must be like, can we just get somebody else, please?
Well, there is one. Obviously, there was some big news that came out last week. In regards to the Premier League, obviously, we did cover some of it during the week when it did come out, and that is that Sean Dyche was sacked by Nottingham Forest, and Thomas Frank was also let go by Tottenham as well. It now means that Igor Tudor is now interim manager at Spurs, and Victor Pereira is now interim manager at Forest.
No, I think he signed up. Is it Inter?
Or is it?
I thought it was an interim. Or maybe I was thinking of Spurs.
I think it's that's a long-term deal. I think it's 18 months.
Is that one the long-term deal? Yeah.
Oh my god! So that's the 4th manager, and they've all been on long-term deal. That's insane.
I mean,
I know it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Is what it is.
When was the last time a club had 4 managers in a season in the Premier League?
Never.
Is it the first time?
I've seen. You have to.
They deserve to go down. They deserve to go down. Honestly,
that sounds harsh, but they do.
4 managers is ridiculous.
You don't get 4 managers and stay up. That's just not fair. Like,
no,
for example,
no.
That's a team that's basically like, it's ridiculous. I have to admit, I was kind of when I saw it, because obviously I was like, Victor Pereira, like, the guy that got in, like, so was it the Wolves manager that couldn't win a game all season and got sacked?
The reason he got sacked, the manager at Olympiacos, I think. Yeah. That's why American Arcus has brought him in.
But I mean, has the owner got a good track record? Yeah, has he got a good track record of bringing in people that he knew previous jobs? Because he got, was it?
He knew Ange.
Yeah, and that didn't
that worked out spectacularly, didn't it?
I think what I found fascinating was why they got him in, because I did a little research into it, and it's like they brought him in because basically like of how he's good at making instant impacts and getting teams to really, buy into what he does early. But I think what's interesting with him is like, I think I saw something, his man management, it's similar to Nuno, and I'm like sitting there going like, so you're basically been trying for 3 managers, trying to replace a manager you had at the start of the season, and if your owner wasn't a complete, basically, then you would have kept him and you still would have had that. But you basically want to replace him. Just not being asked, you would have had him.
Hilarious.
I just find that. When I read that, I was like, so you're just basically regretting sacking Nuno.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, going back to their first love. Oh my God, they should go down, and I hope they do again, because I predicted them to go down. So that would be good.
Forest, and they're a club with heritage and everything. I feel like they should be in the top
get down there.
Top league and all this sort of stuff. But I'm slowly becoming more and more of a West Ham fan in this context.
Yeah, me too. I'm hammers all the way. Up the irons, absolutely.
There should be consequences for running a club, that is. There has to be consequences.
Yeah, surely, right.
If all of a sudden they survive, other clubs would be like, other clubs would probably look at that and go, wait a minute, so they sack their managers 4 times in a season, but still stay up. Like,
I think you have to have a limit of managers. So surely something that would have to be put in place, like substitutions during a match. No, you've had your limit. No, you're sticking with your man. Like,
could you imagine we made a mistake? Can we get the other one back?
Well, it would force. To be honest, I mean, I say that in jest, but I think it would have not almost forced owners to kind of get along better with their managers, to try to like find workarounds as opposed to just giving them the chop immediately. Let's try to find. Let's talk. Let's try to find solutions.
You've got a very unique owner here, and that's the problem.
There is. Yeah, he's a bit mad, isn't he?
Last season, when they had their best season easily in the Premier League era.
Yeah.
He still was not happy, and you're like, what is wrong with you?
He's a bit of a head case, though. This fella,
and the idea of publicly arguing with your manager over a draw with Leicester.
Oh.
Like publicly going down.
I remember that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, it was like, he's just points like, am I missing something? Like at the time they were still in the Champions League spots, I remember. And it's just, he's a very. I mean, from what I've heard, he's very, even with the craziness, I think the fans do love him because he's a bit of a hands-on owner that's obviously to their detriment, in my opinion, because of all the decisions he's making.
Go either way, can't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's like it works great when it's going great, but when it's not going great, you kind of going like, can you kind of,
when it's not going great, it looks a bit of a circus, doesn't it?
Yeah. But I mean,
yeah.
I think what they're just trying to do is like, from word, I think was it Dyche? I think there was some players maybe I think were not kind of happy because you can kind of see it near the end is like the way that the idea. How many shots did he have against Wolves? Like they had so many.
Oh, was it like 15 or 16 something in the first half or something like that?
They should have absolutely just like with them chances.
Out of the game.
I think they broke a record for most shots in a Premier League half as well. I think I might be wrong. But...
No, it wouldn't surprise me actually. To be fair,
maybe for a particular. Anyway, sure.
It's just mental. Like So I think it's one of these things like it's one of those decisions. It's just like okay, but you just gotta stick with him. Like a Dyche has got a track record of keeping teams up like consistently. I mean, yes, the guy you've brought in had done it with Wolves, but that's Wolves. Like you don't know if that's a blip. That's just one team.
I think that's a bit unfair, Stu. To be honest, you're like there's three managers there that they had relegation success. Nuno, Sean Dyche, and like I mean he kept Spurs up last season. Just saying.
I mean, it's one of it's our quote from the old Jose when he said when he got Man United second, when he said his best achievement as a manager.
His best achievement.
That's his best achievement as a manager is he kept Spurs up.
Exactly.
With how many points? It's like it was a great achievement for him.
But you look at obviously as well. The other thing that Forest have got to contend with is European football as well. They've got Fenerbahce on Thursday in a crucial playoff game.
Wow.
So they've actually got another competition to focus on as well. So it would not surprise me in the slightest if they try and go for that, and also the and maybe. No, surely they.
You ask Forest fans
more to American.
I was going to say, ask Forest fans, American, whatever his bloody name is. What's more important, winning this fixture against Fenerbahce or staying in the Premier League? They'll all give you the same answer, which is staying in the Premier League. I think they would call it a wash right now. They just like they'd snap your hand off to take that. If you can have one or the other, let's take the league. Yeah, European football. That's like it's kind of rare. It's rare for like we'll just do without that. We'll just stay in the league. Thank you very much.
They've won 2 European Cups. Don't need another one, do they? Like come
exactly. On. Yeah, and I mean like how close things are. In the table. I mean they'd be like, we'll stay up 100%.
But it'd be such a Premier League thing to do in that competition. Especially how last season went, is that they'll go on to win it. They probably will. Like,
no.
Could you imagine that if this scenario could happen? By the way, just throwing it out there, I highly doubt it. But we could have a final day where Spurs and Nottingham Forest are fighting for who stays up, and then the following week they're both in finals of European competition.
That would be interesting. Yeah, that would be interesting. I think it's one of those seasons. It's one of those seasons that has the potential to have one of those crazy final days or final penultimate game weeks kind of things, where all sorts of nutty things could happen. I certainly hope so. But
in European competitions, it normally happens in like Europa League usually, or like or the conference that's not fair in it because it's only been around for a couple of years, so it's obviously got. But like, yeah, I mean, I could see that. I don't know. It's just because the way the Premier League is. How obviously Champions League shows how and how last season went. We're basically 2 of our mid-table sides in a way, and we're in the Europa League final. Tells you that you can have a rubbish season in the Premier League, but still get do well in Europe. So
and Spurs again this season are doing really well in Europe under Thomas Frank, but the league form is what got him the sack. And this fella Tudor coming in, to be honest, I hadn't heard of Tudor before. Looked him up before. Sacked by Juventus in October. I didn't know that.
Well, again,
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
To be fair, what was funny about that is the idea that there was just no names. Like, at least for Man United when they were.
I could have sworn De Zerbi was let go by Marseille the same day that Frank was let go by Spurs. That I could have sworn later that afternoon it would have been announced.
Don't be surprised though. Don't be surprised if that's the summer thing where like the.
That's quite right, yeah, because he's only an interim tutor, isn't he? So,
but I think what's interesting about this one is the idea. It's another one where he has a connection with the sporting director, I think, or the higher ups. So like,
you would have thought so, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a situation of like, it feels like the same thing. You know, like when like your manager goes, but you don't plan to let him go, but you have to let him go. So they've gone, who do we get, guys? We don't know. And this guy says, well, I know a guy. And then it's just like it comes across.
Is he going to do what was your man at Chelsea who came in the interim and won the Champions League? What was his name again?
How do you not remember Sir Roberto Di Matteo?
Di Matteo, yeah. Is he going to do a Di Matteo come in and win the Champions League with Spurs?
Oh,
I was thinking more Goose Hiddink. How many times did he come in and just like
twice? Yeah, he came in twice. Yeah, and won the FA Cup on one occasion. Yeah,
I think Jupp Heynckes did it with Bayern Munich as well one year. Jupp Heynckes, I think that's what his name was.
No,
he
came in as an actual manager.
Didn't he come in one season? Didn't he get sacked and then come in as an interim to kind of steady the ship and won the? I might be wrong, but
won everything basically once a year.
But if you look at the Tudors, like the clubs he's managed, this is
quite a few.
2017, okay? Galatasaray, Udinese, twice he managed. You got a club called Hajduk Split. Don't know where they are.
How you do not know them? They're
assistant manager.
Everyone knows about them.
Juventus, Hellas Verona, Marseille, Lazio, Juventus, and obviously now Spurs. Now that's a lot of clubs since just 2017. I know that's nearly 10 years, but none of them he's lasted more than a season.
Oh dear. Well, I mean, look, he's not the permanent manager.
Yeah,
he is only coming in for a couple of months, so he's not. So I don't think.
I think he's from
why did Harry Deeney back? Harry Redknapp.
Harry Redknapp.
I mean, was it Tim?
He must be like 80 now.
Tim Sherwood was on the list, wasn't he? He's like, I'll take the job.
Oh, bring back Sherwood. Like, yeah, he was gas. I loved him. He was. What was
the other one? Was it Robbie Keane? I saw something like that. First I read it. I thought I read it. It's like, Roy Keane wants the Tottenham job, and I was like, no, read it again. It's Robbie Keane.
Yeah.
But no, apparently from this one, what I read briefly about it is he seems like a manager that's very, very good at going in short term and fixing stability a little bit. So when you look into it a little bit, I get why they brought him in. But what's interesting is he plays very high intensity football, and everyone's like, and some of the people are going, wait a minute, for an injury struck team that basically have 14 to 16 players fit, you want to start playing
2.0.
Yeah, like you want to play some intensity football. It's like, no, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he does a good job, but again, I think
what's a good job? There's no
getting as far as possible in Europe and finishing
top half
in the top 10. Yeah, top half.
Top half would be immense, I think, for them.
Yeah. But will fans really care about style at this point? Because at this stage, it's like,
just want to make sure
do you know what I mean? Like, let's start winning games at home for a start. You know, but because I mean, their home record is stinky as anything.
What's their first game?
I'll tell you now.
Oh God, I just realised it's not Arsenal, is it?
Oh, they're not in the playoffs, are they?
No.
It is. It's the Northern Derby. Yeah, you're right. It is.
That's like the worst and perfect game. That's the worst and perfect game for them.
Best and worst. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because again, it worked. Hey, it worked for Carrick. First two games against teams that they'd be up for. So
yeah. It's at home. It's at Spurs though, and they have one of the worst records, surely, of any top European club in their own stadium.
We've got a manager that's very good at getting you, it's very strong personality type thing. So we get them going against the Northampton rivals when they want to prove something. I'm just saying, no one wants a new manager bounce. Like everyone wants that. When you want to go against a team, you don't want to go against a team that's got a new manager sometimes because they might be a bit more dangerous than they normally would. But I'm saying that's going to be an interesting fixture the weekend. Very interesting.
It'll be interesting. I still Arsenal think will win comfortably. I don't know if that's on the Super 6 or not, but I think that'll be a comfortable win for Arsenal, to be quite honest.
It probably will be, because obviously, annoyingly, Super 6 decided to choose those playoff games and randomly West Ham's.
Right.
Wolves
I've got a way around it. I've got a way around it. Don't you worry, people. I've got a way around it.
He's got a plan.
I've got a plan, okay?
Is it a cunning plan?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's me.
Nice Baldrick reference there. Love it.
But there is one player I do want to speak about after the weekend's action. We don't really speak about European football, but there is one player that has now reached a record, which for an English talent, you have to mention him, and that's Harry Kane. This weekend hit 500 goals in his career, faster than Cristiano Ronaldo did. And only player to do it faster than him is Lionel Messi.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I think
doesn't that show you how many goals Ronaldo scored plus in his 30s? That's nuts.
Yeah, cool, yeah.
But anyway, Harry Kane. I mean, what an unbelievable player! Like, in terms of all-time greats.
In terms of, well, yeah, I mean, we can.
Well, look, we can do, but
or
we can certainly say. Well, we can go in certain. In terms of all-time greats, it's difficult to give him much. Because the thing that's always been leveled at Harry Kane is his lack of silverware. He's won one Bundesliga title and I think one German Cup.
And
that's not enough. That's not enough to get you in the kind of the upper echelons of best players ever of all time.
Is he better than Brazilian Ronaldo?
No. Purely because Brazilian Ronaldo won a World Cup as well, and multiple other trophies. I think the trophies always has to be there alongside the stats and everything like that. But then he also
won the Golden Boot. But
he did at the last World Cup. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But again, that's not
the sad reality with the names we're looking at. Because obviously I've got like a mild list of the numbers, and also Matt, you'll be happy with this. Your guy Suarez is on that list. But the point is, if you look at their trophies compared to Harry Kane. It's you can have a style or how many goals he scored and how he scores them and stuff like that and stylistically, but the sad reality is if you compare them to the greats on this list, like if Zlatan was it his fifth, was it 70 odd off Zlatan? That's an argument.
People like Zlatan, because Zlatan's probably one of the best, if not maybe the best player to never win a Champions League. Kane has an opportunity to win the Champions League this season with Bayern Munich. I think if he can win a Champions League, he goes up a couple of levels in terms of top tier players. You can
go through everyone on that list.
Just so
I really want him to win it as well. I'm a huge Kane fan. I love him.
It's just nice to see an English. Was it striker go to another league and Stu be amazing?
Be amazing.
Striker in the world right now.
Oh yeah.
In my eyes.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, he's
certainly top two.
At the moment, he's overtaken Haaland just because of consistency.
Well, form always dictates kind of your kind of opinion, I suppose.
But I mean, obviously, it's definitely those two for the top two, and
100%. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Okay,
but
well, how about this then? How about this? If Kane wins the Bundesliga, so I think there's 6 points clear in the Bundesliga Bayern Munich right now. So it's looking likely they're going to win the Bundesliga. So that's yet another league title for him. They could win the German Cup as well, which they tend to do. They have a good chance of winning the Champions League. They must be one of the favourites, Bayern Munich. There is a World Cup in the summer. So if
yes, please.
You never know.
Yes.
I mean, if England could win the World Cup with Kane is winning another Golden Boot, then we can seriously talk about Kane being one of the greatest of all time. But I think
it's the old it's the old saying if buts and maybes, isn't it?
If buts and maybes.
I tell you now.
Yeah. But this could be a huge year for Kane.
I mean, if he wins the World Cup, it would be like
I will get a shrine on this wall.
Yeah, and if he can top scorer as well, if he scores like a hat-trick in the final, immortalizes himself, along with the champion. He'll win the Ballon d'Or. I'll tell you that much. If he wins the Champions League this season with Bayern Munich and wins the World Cup, there's no question he wins the Ballon d'Or.
Well, we all know how the Ballon d'Or works. Basically, it's the idea.
Yeah, of course.
Win everything, be amazing, but
win the European Cup, and if it's a World Cup year, win the World Cup. Preferably, or Euros,
one or the other. If you can get the World Cup or the Champions League, then you got a good shot at winning the biggest prize. So,
but do you think that Harry Kane is the best? Like for me, I think he is the best England striker. It's hard to say ever because I've never seen Jimmy Greaves play.
We're talking obviously,
within my lifetime.
But he's won a Golden Boot in the World Cup. He's reached finals, semi-finals in World Cup, European Cups. He's the record goal scorer. He's playing at one of Europe's top clubs. He's certainly
Alan Shearer in terms of Premier League goals.
Exactly. Yeah.
If he decides to come back, one last stab at but it's quite unlikely now. But I mean, No. You always have to make it. We've had a discussion a couple of times where we keep using the word ever or all time. Is that errors is probably the best way to look at it. It's like, can you sit there and say he's the best England striker of our generation?
No, I think there's no doubt about that.
Yes,
but if you, I mean, but I would say there's no argument.
You'd argue about Wayne Rooney with that.
Oh yeah. But you think more? He did more for a club as opposed to country, I suppose. You know, so
what Harry Kane has produced for England, I would say he overtakes Rooney.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For
yeah,
England. Obviously, club football. Obviously, there's no competition in that sense. But
in terms of goals, he's right up there. But
but
Wayne Rooney winning Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues and stuff.
Yeah,
I think it's hard to argue.
But I just think, cause obviously, you don't want to be having those arguments of like, because with it comes up the greatest England striker of all time. Because you'd be like, there's a lot of players that play for England and been amazing strikers. We have, as you said, we haven't seen play with our own eyes, other clips. So, but I think the argument, if anyone said the best of our generation, 100% no doubt.
Yeah,
it's very interesting because when I saw that he scored 500 goals quicker than Ronaldo, I was like, wow. Like, I know that Ronaldo was slow at the beginning of his career, but wow.
Do you think he's playing till he's 40 then? Do you think he's going to do Ronaldo and play until he's 40?
I don't think he has quite the physique that Ronaldo has, and it's just difficult to see. He's a bit stockier, isn't he? He's not...
He will drop back. He may become an attacking midfielder.
He'll utilise his passing range more so, because I mean his passing is unbelievable when he drops deep. I mean his passing ability is insane. He's the kind of guy
that sounds weird, but I could see him. You know, like you see players that move into different positions when they get into the tail end.
Yeah, like Rooney did.
He could do a Rooney. I was just thinking Rooney. Yeah, but Rooney dropped back and
I can see him as because again his link up play is amazing. So like
it is.
Put him in like maybe an attacking midfield role.
Or maybe put him in.
Could do. Maybe I wouldn't maybe wouldn't go as far as back as like centre midfield, but like attacking. I could see him as if he was attacking midfield, it'd be amazing because obviously even with the legs
drop back anyway, doesn't he? He's just constantly. He's always been doing that, you know.
No, because that's the problem we've all complained about him at times in England. Is like he drop. Yeah. He's not a strike. He's more of a gets linking up with the play than he does actually just being an old school kind of striker. But if you put him attacking midfield or something, or in that kind of area, that quality would become a virtue. So I don't know. I mean, so I think there's legs in that, but. Yeah, I mean, but it would be nice. It would be hilarious. It was. I think. I mean, the question was Lapham. I think he's got not exact, but 570. So, do you think he could, if he in a good longevity, 2 seasons, he could catch that?
I think he's got one more, like a really good season left in him. Kane. I say this though, but.
But isn't he like contract that are in the contract negotiations with him? If you remember, because obviously Barcelona are interested because obviously they.
No, could you imagine if he ended up at Barca? Oh.
But no, it's because ironically, it seems to be like you go to Bayern Munich, do your stuff at Bayern Munich, then you go to Barcelona because that's what's
like Lever.
Yeah,
Lewandowski did. Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe because obviously if he could do a situation where he does it in the Premier League, he does it in the German League, and then does it in La Liga.
You can say that as well, absolutely, yeah. Which is one thing that Zlatan always had as well, is that he scored goals in many different leagues and won trophies and things like that. But I think the Champions League is big for Kane. I think it's huge for Kane if he could win the Champions League with Bayern Munich. Absolutely.
I personally think that from a personal record perspective, I can see the argument for Brazilian Ronaldo because, like, I think the younger generation will not understand how good Ronaldo was.
Yeah,
he was better to watch than the Cristiano Ronaldo.
He was a much sexier footballer, wasn't he? And I don't mean he was just nicer to watch. Kane's more sort of clinical and just ruthless and cold-headed in front of goal. Ronaldo had Brazilian flair.
Harry Kane's like an old school striker as well, but he's not.
Exactly.
Like, I know it sounds like he's like he knows what a goal is. He's a poacher in a way, but also he's very technically gifted that he can get. He's very good, works in systems, but he's a mixture of both.
Exactly. And you know what I like about it as well? He seems incredible. People say this about players all the time, but he seems incredibly down to earth. He just seems like a nice bloke. He never bleaches his hair. He doesn't have tats up his throat or down his arms or whatever. He just kind of gets on with it, and this not that kind of depletes for footballing ability, but he's just like you said, an old school striker. He
just knows his job. What's his job? Help the team score goals, and he produces.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
we can all be frustrated him sometimes.
Doesn't worry about his image. Yeah.
No, he just like basically going to be a member. Yeah, and I think that's. I think it's. Yeah, I think it's to have an argument for the all-time greats. That's obviously going to be tricky with the lack of trophies, obviously. But I think when it comes to, we're always going to be in that debate for great English strikers, I think.
Yeah, 100%,
and a lot of people, I wouldn't. It wouldn't be a. Obviously, it depends on if he wins the World Cup that we. So hope
well, imagine if he won the
summer.
World Cup and the Champions League. I mean, but the World Cup, I mean, would be unbelievable.
I mean, he'll be on par
who was the last team
with achievements.
Who was the last?
Go on.
Bobby Charlton. He'd be up there with Bobby Charlton.
Bobby Charlton, yeah, easily.
Yeah, but the question is like, obviously I not know anyone that has this knowledge, top of their head. But who's the last player to win the Champions League and the World Cup
in the same season?
In the same year. Oh,
yeah, same
do you know?
season,
Do you know it?
No.
Oh, right.
Oh, no.
It must be one of the Italian. Who won the? Was there an Italian player in that Barcelona side in 2006? That just immediately came to my mind.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if it's probably like it's probably a Brazilian.
World Cup years and
yeah, it must be right. It must be. Was Roberto Carlos and Ronaldo in the 2002 Real Madrid side? Because they won the Champions League in 2002, and then Brazil won the World Cup. It must be.
Tony
it must be. No, he was playing for.
I think he won the Champions League 2014, and then went to.
No, that was Real Madrid. He was playing for Bayern Munich at the time. Real Madrid. Yeah, I think Roberto Carlos is right. 2002.
No, there's got to be one sooner than that.
With the AC Milan.
Who's 2018? Oh no, Raphael
2018
Varane.
France and
Varane.
Oh, was he? Oh, there you go. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
2018 World Cup, and then he would win the Champions League with Real Madrid.
Yeah, good shout.
No? Okay, well, 5 up. So
hang on. I just got to think. What year was the World Cup? Like
2022. 2022. Argentina. And who won was it Man City? Was that the year Chelsea won it?
No, we didn't win it. No, it was Real Madrid. Oh God, was there
against Liverpool? Yeah.
It probably wasn't. It's probably
Argentina, Real Madrid.
Let me just double check if that was the year they won it.
I don't know.
Since COVID, I can't figure.
It's like.
Are you sure that wasn't Chelsea? 2022.
No, we won in 2021.
Oh right, well then it was Real Madrid.
Definitely Real Madrid.
Because after that was Man City, and then.
I mean,
Real Madrid versus Liverpool.
Yeah, 1-0. Yeah.
I don't think there was an Argentina player in that.
That was a terrible match, by the way. No, I don't think there was. No, maybe on the bench.
I don't know why, but Angel Di Maria comes in my head, but he obviously didn't.
Yeah, he wasn't there. Yeah. I'm happy with my Roberto Carlos shout 2002 anyway.
Yeah, but that's a good shout. For some reason, I thought like AC Milan, and I keep forgetting that's the season after. So like, I forgot that's 2003. So like, yeah, I mean, I don't know how to cop to mix. It's actually kind of we've obviously found out right now. It's actually quite fascinating, and it's really cool to find out.
But if you know anyone, if anyone watching, if you can think,
if we missed any glaring ones,
2010, we probably won the Champions League and World Cup in the same year. That's what we want to know.
Any Spanish players in that Inter Milan team in 2010?
I don't think so.
No, right. They were all Barca and Real Madrid, weren't they?
Well, to be fair, I say that probably the Glaping one is probably that Spain side and the Barcelona side, right? There's probably basically everyone in that team probably won the Champions League and then won a World Cup or something in that year. Surely.
No, because the year they won the Champions League was 2009. That's not a World Cup year, and they won in 2011 again.
2011.
Not a World Cup year.
All right, fair enough.
Nice try.
2015 as well, which also was not a World Cup year. Yeah.
So they are not. So what we have just found out here is that Barcelona cannot win the Champions League this year because it's a World Cup year.
Exactly.
Don't tell FIFA
if you've got money on Barcelona, silly you.
Hey, don't tell FIFA that, because they'd be like, oh, I'm thinking that idea.
Well, but no, actually thinking about it, Barcelona did win the Champions League 2006. Didn't they? So no.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. But we determined that there were no Italian
Didn't
players
Italy,
in that Barcelona side, so we're good.
Didn't Italy win that in 06?
Yeah. So there were no Italian players. I don't think.
Kind of
in that Barcelona
I
side.
mean, we all know why most Italian players are probably finding new clubs, because Juve was the old was it betting scandal?
Oh, the Cow Chopoli scandal, whatever. Yeah,
that's right. But we're going to move on to the Super Six now. If you're watching the episode, it's going to look very different to how we normally do it in the Super Six. Okay. But trust me and have faith in me when we do this. Okay.
Shall do.
I mean, I don't know if a lot of you fans have faith in me.
I'm sure they do, Matt. I'm sure they do. Don't you worry.
Well, we have faith in you. then that's.
There we go.
Yeah. Unless it comes to talking about Ryan Giggs, but apart from that, I'm sure they have the utmost faith in you.
Or bringing up Luis Suarez in any conversation.
Anyway, we are moving on really quickly. So, what we're going to do is, because we can't see what the Super 6 games are until they are released by Sky on the Super 6. So, what we're going to do is we're going to predict all of the Premier League games, and then you'll
just
see them in the short for the results.
God, we'll really have to fly through these now. That's 10 games we'll have to...
All right, yeah. We'll fly through it.
Okay.
So you've just given me one hell of an editing job. Thanks for that.
Are we going to predict? Are we going to leave out the Wolves? No, who is it? Who are Arsenal playing next Wednesday?
Wednesday. But ironically, that's in this week's Super 6. So
yeah, that's
this weekend.
Oh, is it? Okay, right.
Actually,
okay.
Oh, right, fair enough.
No, it's similar to that. Was it Rangers and Hibs match where had all these games and they randomly put just a random game in there, but it feels like all Champions League playoffs and then just random Premier League game. I know it's Arsenal Wolves, but it's just really weird how they do it sometimes.
Speaking of Scottish football, we never mentioned Scottish football, but that Scottish title is kind of heating up now. The Rangers match against Hearts over the weekend.
So as a follower of Rangers, obviously because of family stuff and all that. Yeah, 2 points. It's getting a bit nervy.
And how many games are left in that season? It can't be many.
I don't know if it's that point in the season where they separate the league. So when
I
play
don't.
Each other.
Yeah.
I mean, I to be fair, for a long time, I didn't know that existed until I played FM. It's like, oh wait, that's a thing. It's like, because it doesn't really change anything or mean anything. It just means
they only have like 11 teams, so they need to do something. Yeah.
Yeah, to make it interesting. But no, I mean it's really good because obviously where Rangers were, they were like they were.
They were.
And then the idea that they're now 2 points off, and obviously, but it's like I want Rangers to win it, but then also I want Hearts to win it because Hearts winning it would be better for the league. Scottish football than Rangers winning it, but it's like
didn't Josh say I might have misheard what he said or misinterpreted or misremembered it, but didn't he say the last time a team that wasn't Celtic or Raiders that won the league was when Alex Ferguson was still at Aberdeen?
Yep, Aberdeen.
The 1980s. I hope Hearts win. Yeah.
I mean,
anyway.
But anyway, so
nothing against you and your family, Stu, but I am rooting for Hearts.
No, I mean it's one of those weird things. Anyone, it's like the comment my enemy.
On the hill.
If anyone in our family, anyone but Celtic, Celtic.
So
it's like it's a win-win for if that happens.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
We'll finish on that with I'm definitely more Celtic than Rangers. Anyway,
that's it, Matt. Right, I have to leave now because that's unacceptable. Can't allow that.
Right, so the first game of the Super 6 will be so hang on, I'll do my thing.
Is it the Super
6 predictions? Bam, there we go. Done.
So is it the Super 6 then?
Yeah, Super 6.
Super duper 6.
So the first game of the Premier League weekend will be again between Aston Villa and Leeds United, and this is at Villa Park. I will start, and I'm going to go with 2-1 Villa for that game.
That's a tentative 2-1. I was thinking 1-1. I'm going to go 1-1.
Okay.
I think I'm going to agree with Max. I think it feels like. But then Villa have got a really terrible home record last 2 games against teams and they're down there. Now I'll stick with the 2-1 with Villa and probably will regret it when Leeds win it 1-0.
But you don't go for clean sheets, do you?
Sometimes do, but as you know, I go with clean sheets when I've got the points I've got now, so I could be a bit more risky.
The next game is Brentford versus Brighton. So, David, start with you.
That's kind of a 2-1 Brentford.
Okay, all right. Stu?
It feels like I'm copying everyone, but I think because of how bad Brighton's form's been lately, and obviously Brentford's home form, I would say. Yeah, I think it'd be I think Brighton score because obviously they've still got still a pretty decent team, just not working at the moment. But yeah, I think 2-1 to Brentford.
Okay, I'm going to go 3-0 Brentford in this game. I think that they've been really impressive this year. I think the goals will flow in this game. Like I say, like Stu said, Brighton have been below par this year. I don't see where the goal's going to come from unless Danny Welbeck comes off the bench. But yeah, no, I don't.
I think Igor Thiago scored. I think Igor Thiago signed a new deal over the weekend as well, didn't he?
He did.
Mm-hmm.
And then you say that, and then he's probably going to be sold in the summer. How many times we heard that?
That's how it works. Yeah. That's how modern football works.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
So the next game is Chelsea at home to Burnley. Stuart, what are we going for you?
I'm obviously not surprised to anyone. I'm going to go for Chelsea win.
Really?
I know. You never know. I mean, they done up Palace, so you never know. No, it's just I think it should be 3-1 Chelsea.
Okay. I'm going to go 2-0 Chelsea. Yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 Chelsea in this one. David?
I'm going to go 4-1 Chelsea.
4-1. Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Do you know what? Out of all of them, I want it to be David's because I want to see loads of goals.
Yeah, of course. I think they'll spank them. Yeah.
Of course, you want the person. There was a person that's put your team scoring the most goal to be the prediction you want. Of course.
Of course I do. Yeah, of course I do. Then the late kickoff on the Saturday. Was it 5:30 kickoff? Is between West Ham and Bournemouth. So with this one, this is tricky because if you're talking because. Is it Cropey, the youngster that they've got, and Rayen for Bournemouth have both played really well recently. So they look good. They look like they can provide something on the attack. But West Ham, at the moment, are picking up results. They drew, unfortunately, to Manchester United in their last
but they
game.
looked really good against United. That was actually a really, really good game. I know that was a while ago, but West Ham did look good. And Bowen, my God,
goal was amazing.
I mean,
it was delicious. Yeah, I loved it. But
and also, I have to admit,
Bowen was unbelievable.
Do have a shaky game in them? Like in a sense, they have the games where they're just like.
I think this is the hardest one.
I think I've got. Can I say my score? I've got mine anyway. I know.
Go on then. Go on. You see what
1-0. I'm just gonna do 1-0. 1-0.
1-0. I'm gonna go with.
Actually, no.
3-2.
Sorry.
No, you said yours. No.
No. I want to go 2-1.
No, you've said it. Locked in.
No. I'm gonna say 2-1 West Ham. 2-1 West Ham.
Oh no!
Oh,
I'm gonna give him a win.
By the way, that's staying in because if it ends up being 1-0, it's coming out.
Oh yeah.
It's like that annoying thing. It's like that annoying thing with the FA Cup thing when I was sitting there going like, oh, I got the was it Southampton Leicester game right? Oh, 2-1. It's like no, that's only in full time. And like that is such a slidey rule, man.
I'm gonna go 3-2 West Ham.
Goals galore.
Goals.
You and your 3-2s, you know. She always like your 3-2s.
He likes a 3-2.
Yeah, I do.
I'm gonna go because it's gonna be a close game. I'm gonna go 2-1 West Ham because I think the home advantage have been quite good. So yeah. But again, won't be not surprised if we say that, and then it's probably gonna be 1-1. But it has a draw with and all of it, but I'm going 2-1 West Ham.
Yeah, I think we can do it.
The late game. This is
City, isn't it?
Is Man City versus Newcastle, the 8:00 game.
They must be fed up of playing each other.
This could be a very interesting game because Newcastle really need to get things going. Is this the game? I don't think it is. No. I'm going to go 3-0 City.
That was my guess, to be honest. But just to mix it up, I'll do 3-1. I'll go 3-1. City can't defend.
I'll go 3-1. City can't defend.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they've got Gahey and I'm sure Diaz is back, isn't he?
Even when they have the strongest line, they do concede City. So yeah, 3-1 I think is.
Yeah. I think obviously. It was one of those games. It wouldn't surprise me if City was Newcastle score first, and then obviously City ramp them because obviously Newcastle have that in them. Because put it out this way, how kind of up and down Liverpool have, we kind of rolled them over, in the second half. So don't be surprised if City did the same. But I put 3-1 Man City.
What's happened to Walter Made, man? Yeah, Walter Made, man.
I think. We were all saying this last time we predicted the Newcastle game, we all went for the same, and we all got it spot on.
What was that? What was it?
2-1.
The 2-1, wasn't it? Yeah.
I was buzzing for that one because it was like I don't get fives often these days. So like,
the Spurs one.
Isn't
it funny that we all knew Spurs were just going to get beaten at home? It's just like you just know, like.
We should have got money. We should have put money on the idea that basically like he would get sacked after that.
It would have been odds on. It probably would have been odds on. It would have just been so like everyone knew that was going to happen. Like
Then we move on to the Sunday games as Palace host Wolves at Selhurst Park. Stuart.
Oh right. Yeah.
You've had your turn. Don't you start.
I don't know. I mean, this is one of those games like Palace should win this, and obviously they're probably bouncing off that win against their fierce rivals in Brighton. That's again, still don't know why they're fierce rivals, but hey, but they should win this. But I think Wolves are probably going to put up more of a fight. But I'm going to put 2-1 Palace. But it should be more. But Palace, you don't know what to expect at the moment, so I'm going to put 2-1.
Okay, all right. I'm going to go 2-0 Palace in this game. I think, they've let go of Strad Larsen. So, I'm going to go 2-0 Palace. So, yeah.
I am going to give Wolves a point. I'm going to go 1-1.
That's not a shocking result, the prediction, really, because
I have a feeling Palace have been very shaky at home, and even just in general, form has really dipped. I can see Wolves doing something there at Selhurst Park.
And it'll probably be that youngster, Mane.
It could well be. Yeah.
And can I also add, if Wolves win the game on the weekend, they then eclipse Derby's record.
Really? Oh, they're on 8 points. Yeah, that's right. Are they on 8 or 9?
The third. So if it stays away, they'll be the third worst team in Premier League history. Not the first, but
second.
The third.
Second worst, because they'll still be behind Southampton.
Well, do we count that as like? Oh yeah, okay, but it's still not.
It's funny, oh, we've escaped Derby's record. Yeah, you're still one of the worst bloody teams ever.
Yeah, you're still
like second or third worst teams ever played.
You're still you're still crap. Like
Nottingham Forest. Burnley could be in with a shout for it, but
anyway,
Nottingham Forest host Liverpool at the City Ground. I know this is a game that Stu does not like in the calendar. And do you know what? I've actually got a little bit of faith in Forest.
Forest with that new manager bounce.
Right, China.
Are they going to get a win in Victor Pereira's first game? No. That's the question. No, surely not. Surely Liverpool are going to get a win. No, I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool. 3-1 Liverpool in that game. I haven't gone for a draw yet. I need a draw. There's no draws in this weekend's game.
All I can say is there's a possibility of a draw in the next fixture. Just saying.
Okay. Go on. Who next?
I'll go 2-1 Liverpool.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the same with David, that one, because obviously it's going to be there's no such thing as an easy game for Liverpool, especially with how shaky they've been. So it feels great right now, but Nottingham Forest is one of those teams that's caused us a lot of pain the last couple of years. So don't take it for granted. But as I said before, I put the result I want to happen. So hopefully it will happen and we can get another win. But 2-1.
Okay. The next game is Sunderland versus Fulham at the Stadium of Light. I know what you're saying, Stu. I know what you're saying about the thing of this is a game that's likely to have a draw, but Sunderland are unbeaten at home.
Well, they were.
And
they lost to Liverpool, didn't they?
No, they did.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Oh,
for the first time this season, in fairness, at home. But yeah.
What I find funny about that result is everyone, when I put 2-1 Liverpool, it's like, no, they're not going to win that record. No.
Yeah, I know.
And it's just like,
proved us wrong. Proved us wrong.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
No, you need to get smug about it, Stu.
Come on, let me have a bit of smugness.
He was, wasn't he? He was getting a bit smug. He was getting a bit getting a bit cocky about it. It's like, all right, wind your neck in, mate.
It's been a tough season. Let me have a little bit of smugness until
fair enough. You are having a stinky season, so yeah.
Into the weekend,
but you're still champions, so
yeah. I mean, my smugness points have been taken now for the season.
Yeah,
you are not allowed to now use them again. Okay.
Yeah,
you've used up for your points.
So who was it? Sunderland, Fulham.
Yeah, Sunderland, Fulham.
Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, sorry I got.
I'm gonna go 2-0. No, 2-1. Sunderland. 2-1 Sunderland.
You don't want to write off Fulham now.
No, I am writing off Fulham. Fulham are overrated.
I did think in my head there that. Where else would I have thought it? I did think that Fulham could do a 2-1. No, I'm gonna go 2. I'm gonna be boring and do a draw. I'm gonna do 2-2.
Oh, you're going for the draw now.
That's probably the correct and probably right prediction there, because obviously it feels like it's like Sunderland. How would he bounce back after losing their record against a Fulham side that always seems to, just when you think you understand them as a team of they're rubbish, all of a sudden they produce annoyingly. Yeah, I think there's Sunderland's too hard place to go, and I think it'll be a really entertaining. It wouldn't surprise me if one of the most entertaining games of the weekend. As much it doesn't scream a match that some people would think, but both really good sides in a way. But yeah, I would like keep their work going, so I'm gonna bet 2-1 Sunderland. So but again, it's got a draw with
Southampton.
I was yes. Hey, it's the S's, man. Gets my whole thing rattled.
Well, just at Spurs. Spurs is the next one.
Not Southampton, Arsenal.
No. No, we got Spurs versus Arsenal in the North London derby. Igor Tudor's first game in charge, and a game that Mikel Arteta has to win. He has to win this game.
Absolutely.
Or else they're suddenly looking like they're going to bottle this league all of a sudden.
I mean, I'm not going to... You're talking about smug kind of points, but if that does happen, then I would have a smile on my face, because it would be mildly hilarious. But this match is huge. From the North London and also from the title race.
For Igor Tudor, he will want to win that first North London derby, and for Arteta, the pressure's mounting. He has got to win this.
I think even a draw for Spurs. I think even Tudor would be happy with a draw, particularly like a score like a 2-2. I think would be a decent result.
Anything other than a win for Arsenal was a disaster.
Would it be? I
wouldn't say it's a disaster. It would be very bad, but I wouldn't say it would be a complete disaster. I mean, we all expect City to beat Newcastle, so the gap is 4 points there. So the gap would be 2 points. That would be a bit too close.
The reason I say is because if it's a draw and City win,
I 2 point
the gap would then be 2 point gap, and then that means when City play before them, they always go above them.
So,
and then psychological edge, all that sort of thing.
Well, the way this season's going, it seems like history repeating itself, because I'm sure this is how it always goes between those two, where City just pick up form, but maybe is this a change? Well, obviously we'll find out, but. Yeah, you are right. This is really.
It's what Arsenal would desperately want to win. I think it doesn't matter that it's against Spurs. They just need to win.
Need to win basically every game.
Goals. I want Richarlison to score and
then
equaliser.
And then to lose the match.
He's going to put
the match to Declan Rice.
You're going to do a 5-4.
Screamer from 40 yards.
You're going to do that famous 5-4, weren't you? I think to Spurs versus Arsenal, there was a 5-4.
I thought that was a 4-4 as well.
4-4.
I'm sure Arsenal won that game, but
Daniel.
I might be wrong, but either way, it was a very entertaining high school.
David Bentley. We scored from the halfway line against Almunia. Yeah.
That's going back.
Show my age now.
I do think Arsenal will win, though. I do think Arsenal will win.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm gonna go with 3-2 Arsenal.
Ooh, that's just you wanting an exciting game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. You don't truly believe there'll be 5 goals in this match, do you?
Yes, I do. No.
Do you really?
Yeah, because Arsenal. I think if you look at it from the perspective of Arsenal, will be so. I think nerves are going to be a real part of the game.
That could
be. If Spurs get 1 goal, Like if the Spurs get a goal, that's going to make things very interesting. So
fair enough.
Yeah, I think it'll be a very open game due to nerves, and yeah, I'm going to go.
Having said that, I do think it'll be 3-1 Arsenal, so I think there'll be 4 goals. So not that far behind. But yeah, I think it'll be 3-1 Arsenal.
The only one left is now 3-all.
I'm not
4-3 Spurs. Imagine.
No, it's one of those games. I'm going to go very boring, go 2-2 Arsenal, but that's because
I'm not tuning in for yours. Yours is Tottenham sports style, mate.
I mean, you say that, but then I don't want, as you're talking about smug points. I am top of the thing, so
yeah,
it might be boring, but it gets as you know, it looks like it's getting the job done, but. Seriously though, but like I just think it's like Arsenal still kind of like this is the true test now. Like, are they this different Arsenal side? Are they the side that's been as Joe's side bottling it for long, like like near the end, like the pressure's getting them, or if they've got enough of mental, what Liverpool used to be called mentality monsters, where like they have that mentality to go and win it. This is that nitty gritty now, like. Mm-hmm. I do worry that again, if City ever get that top spot at any point,
they won't let go.
I think so. Yeah, this is huge moment. If they can keep that decently going into that big City game when they play each other, then we have, I think. Yeah, so they've got. But this is a big game for them, massive. Like even if it wasn't North London derby, it's just
absolutely
they need. This is the point now. It's like it's all good being top and for most of the season, but no one remembers most of the people that are top. Only remember who's the top at the end. So, like, they need to prove that basically they are a changed side. So it'd be interesting to see the Arsenal world.
Well, we have one more game. I highly doubt this is going to be on Super 6, but we might as well just get the game out of the way. And that is Everton versus Manchester United at. I was about to say Goodison Park. It's not Goodison Park. It's the.
That's going to take.
Dickinson.
I remind you Hill Dickinson.
Stadium.
It's going to take.
I have to remind you that every time. Tattoo it on your wrist, mate. You get it somewhere,
It's just below my Upton Park one, mate.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, to be fair to him, it's only been one season, so like give him a couple of years, it'd just be ingrained in the mind.
True enough. The HD Stadium. Think of just the HD Stadium.
I'm focusing on saying Kiskov Skelio, right? That's my focus right now, rather than that.
That was one of your worst attempts. That was awful.
But yeah, so I'm gonna go with in this game. Man United have been unbeaten under Carrick though so far. Carrick is at the wheel. Is it going to carry
Everton
on?
are very difficult to predict.
Especially again, it's another away game as well.
The ones you think they're going to lose, they win. The one you think they're going to win, they lose.
I haven't gone for a draw at all. I've not gone for a draw at all so far.
Probably got a draw win over there, right?
This could be this is a draw potential.
2-0 Man United. 2-0 Man United. Yeah. I'm going to get something right. I'm going to get something right.
Put 2-1 either way. Eventually, you're going to get 2-1. So just keep going for it.
There we go. Yeah, you know it. Yeah.
Do you want to go next year?
Okay. Yeah. This is it's an interesting one because obviously that game against West Ham again. It was a real spectacular week.
Great game,
no doubt. But what it kind of proves is like for me, it's like as I kind of said, it's like. You got the draw, but again, it's like kind of show that like it's not going to be straightforward. So, obviously, he had a good run, but I mean, obviously, I think that guy with the hair must be absolutely devastated. That he actually finally has to cut his hair, for God's sake, just cut his hair. It's not going to happen 5 in a row.
That guy is doing my nutting.
Yeah,
he's doing Rooney's. He's doing the Rooney's nutting because I remember saying.
I know.
I mean, that's telling you something, right? If Rooney's coming out saying I'm fed up with this guy, but anyway, like that proves that obviously they're still. I mean, to come back from that's good, but obviously it's still they were fine for most of it. So away games are going to be interesting, but I think they'll win it 2-1. But it's one of those. It's all I'm saying. Every away game, it's away from Old Trafford. It's fascinating to see where Man United are, if that makes sense. If it's a bounce or is it a new manager bounce or is it like a proper rival?
Well, the Arsenal one away was a pretty good indication of sort of how they were feeling. I think that was their first match with Carrick, but anyway, no, that was City, wasn't it? I can't remember.
Yeah, but
things should fade away.
I mean, I think it's trying. It's like it's more like figuring out because we talked a lot about Woody if he gets a job, and it's like. Again, you've done good changes to get to that point, but again, like from where West Ham are, where you are, like you can say 2 points drop, but then but then you might go to Everton that I've seen you beat a couple of times over the years, and
yeah,
I might do it. So.
Yeah, I think that was a point gained against West Ham, to be honest. I think West Ham played extremely well, and they could have won it. They looked really good going forward. I think so. And again, a fabulous equaliser from Sesko. Such a strange goal, but I was like, that's beautiful.
I'm just saying, I'm sure there was a certain episode where someone said about, so was it Sesko or Sesko? It's something like downplaying him and stuff like that, but the guy's like being rejuvenated.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of down on Sesko for a while. I mean, and he wasn't even getting a start. He's not even getting a start. He's not even in the starting 11 right now under Carrick, and he comes on and he seems to make an impact. Yeah. Everton, the 1-0 loss against Everton against 10 men was one of the lowest points under Amarim that match a couple of months back. But yeah, I do think United could go and get a win against Everton. They've been a bit up and down at home, I think. Obviously, with the new stadium, maybe that factors in. Who knows? But again, like I said earlier on, Everton are a little bit difficult to predict as of late. So, but I'm going to go with a 2-0 victory for United.
Okay. Well, let us know what your thoughts are, guys. Obviously, we are going to be spot on with all of these.
Oh yeah, 100%.
We'll be coming on with gold, like bling all over us if we get them all right.
I mean, as I said before, I'm on the I'm on the double, aren't I? So
there you go.
See, not just to rub it in, but just saying.
Not to rub it in, but there you go.
Yeah. I don't get much chance to be smug, so let me have sometimes.
You had all of last season,
not enough. I wanted this season.
You had 9 months straight of just being like, hey,
not enough. I need at least 2 seasons.
Technically still the champions.
The third season? Then I'll be. That might humble me, but
back down to earth. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
exactly. All right. But take care, everyone. Obviously, don't forget to like and subscribe to our content. We're on Spotify. And obviously, any ideas you've got for videos, please let us know, because we would love to hear any ideas you guys have got as well. All right, then. But take care, everyone.
Take care, guys.
See you
All
soon.
the best.
Bye-bye.